into the NFL on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be a matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati
Bengals.
With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium and sit the call. We ran our broadcast team, Randy Gunn and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River, the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of the Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of the sold-out crowd, and they're all set. It's they'll match up with Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Gunn and Charles Davis with you from a broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner of the ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best? That team will win the game.
Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather, and we are underway from Cincinnati. This fielded at the 2. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, LA! That kick return TD is 98 yards in length, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start. I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And the Chargers grab a 7-0 lead. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there is they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be let out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
This is a young man who has a lot of quiet confidence in his abilities. He won't shout it from the rooftops, but if you ever talk to him, you sense it, and you start to get it. In fact, I asked him about his mobility, and he said, well, I did run for over 1,500 yards in college. That was an easy answer from him.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. That's complete to John Ross. Give him 9 there on completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good edge steam.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And he's going to have the hook up to Ross. give them 17 in the Cincinnati first down.
Brent, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him in football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Got his man, it's Eifert. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter, can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now this one is running back out of the backfield. It's a gain of 9 yards. And they'll bring up what looks to be a 30 inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now it gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline, thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep going. We're doing pretty well.
They only get 5 out of that quick slam, but that's good enough for a first. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone when you're down in distance count.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Time quickly to look at the Chargers defense.
It's really easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Throwing on first down, but this one lines up to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass means his 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Dalton, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Enough to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton here from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. Now he's into the clear. Now he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. But it was 3rd down defensively. They were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And it's good. Here's to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the pick six, and they're decent field position and throwing that pick six, we'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Here's Dalton. He completes it to Tate. 25 yards that time.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Andy Dalton now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early 8 of 10. It's first down. Now the first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. The free safety rolling all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
On second down now, Bernard. Now he is stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Going deep downfield for Ross, and that'll be incomplete. They took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So on fourth down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So here come the Chargers with a long field ahead of them. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State, It's Phillip Rivers.
In some ways, he reminds me of a past NFL great who played the quarterback position as well. Jawing with the opposition, trash talking a little bit, doesn't mind getting hit and battered around, something that kind of gets him into the game. But once it's time to lock in, Phillip Rivers does that as well as any quarterback in the league.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their 11. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder, and now a front-line NFL back.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. A toss play, Gordon. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw 5 routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Ty Long now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
And it's still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. Feeling okay. Dalton, 1st and 10. He's got his man. This is Tate. This one 2 yards shy of the marker. 80-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Andy Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They're already up a couple of scoring, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
It's such an impressive first half to get that lead. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Open man is Ross, complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy of the 46. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
They have a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spotted it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Charger offense making their way back out there. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers on 1st and 10 at their own 15. That throw into the arms of Allen. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
You don't want to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
That's whether we should like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rivers, he leaves to Eckler on the draw. Give him 4 on the carry. That'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Play action now, Rivers. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Give him 30 yards there. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis in his first half of action. Turn this time, he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of control. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second. Throwing, Rivers. Benjamin's got it. And they'll bring it down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages, finding the open holes in the defense.
To throw is Rivers. And a throw there getting incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So on fourth down, on comes the Charger kicker, Michael Badgley. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Badgley's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And now a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Passing, it's Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. That's all good for only a couple. It brings up third down. An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on third. Dalton gives to Bernard, and he'll get this up only to about the 22. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here as he gets it away. Shedding the tackle. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well making ability. Rivers now for Keenan Allen. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing Rivers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards to pick up, 1st down. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. Off the play fake here, Rivers finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the 1st half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, the 52-yard attempt. The left upright, and it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's a darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them putting the football away.
Yes, you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From midfield here, Dalton. Good play to the right side. It's Hayford. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this 3rd quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection is struggle.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. So here's time to the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The run on 1st down gets him a couple up to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
We saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Bernard. Only a couple there, and so he'll be brought down about the 28.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, it's hard to get them started again occasionally.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. The back of pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well the 2nd half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the 1st half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Rivers. Over the middle and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack up 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Rivers to throw it. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Ty Long now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drive you deserve to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Rush. He's taken down. That's Thomas Davis on the sack. Came in the league way back in 2005.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
The offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton here from the gun. Got his man, it's Eifert. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Back near his goal line, Rivers. Got a man, that's Keenan Allen. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad, not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud of that completion.
Running on first down, Eckler. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Rivers completes it to Benjamin. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 39. territory now with a 1st and 10, 39-yard line. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And nowhere that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. But it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it. If you got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to not put away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there. Now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, Rivers. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 12-yard line.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Rivers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Play fake. Rivers. He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams there to make the grab. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff position? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Dalton. And the catch good, Seifert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time, and the Cincinnati 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run a 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Jordan. But he's got his man. It's a team. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards that time at a Cincinnati first down.
They should put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Dalton. Short pass, Rayford while receiving it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there. The number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? You don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The Bengals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. It's complete. Bernard. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Kevin Huber now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. The Chargers getting set to go with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. That throw into the arms of Allen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A. And they're going to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try it on first down. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. They'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And 8 of 11 and a Charger first.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. You run the football. You got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Coming up to the line, they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They go back to Gordon here on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And you have to figure they're just these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he he can get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force him on a 3rd and 14.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Gordon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Here's Ty Long now. They'll boot it away from about 35. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
They probably just want to put this one behind them. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. A tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give a Scotia credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under the entire game.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Operating from the guy. Dalton gets it to his running back. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And this is taken at the 23. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And controlling the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Charger drive about to get going. And this one, all the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real reason here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
The That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.
And there you have it. Chargers are winning 24-0. The industry. See you all tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. Have a great night.